Tonight, President Bola Tinubu to address 78th session of United Nations General Assembly in New York. Governor Mono visits Akbc State University in Pioneer, promises upgrade of facilities. Federal governments to shut down Murtala Mohammed International Airport from October 1, suspends contract concessions. Coup d'etat, Rwanda retires 12 generals, Cameroon reshuffles military. Details shortly. A very good evening to you and welcome to Akbc 4-5 News at 8. I am Ufot Uduakan. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu is to address the 78th session of the high-level general debates of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, September 19. Reports say that Tinubu, in his first outing to the Assembly, will be addressing world leaders in the evening of that day. The Nigerian president will be the 5th African leader to speak on day one of the gathering, according to the speaker's list from the office of the General Assembly. Tinubu will be the 14th speaker out of 20 leaders slated to speak on the first day. The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, the 10th speaker, will be the first African leader to speak in the morning session of the Assembly. The high-level general debate will be held from September 19 to September 29. As part of his familiarization visit to public institutions and facilities, Governor Moino has visited the Akbc State University, Ikorapaden in Pioneer Federal University and low-cost estate housing estate in Ibianibon local government area. Grading and completing the development facilities there, Government House reporter Patience John tells us more.
To ascertain areas of needs in institutions of higher learning across the state, meet minds with the management of such institutions as well as assess public facilities, Governor Moino visited the Akbc State University, Ikorapaden, in Pioneer local government area, where he directed the construction of internal roads and completion of hostels in the school. Governor, who reiterated his administration's premium on education, commended the school management for the success recorded and take fund for its intervention in the institution so far.
I'm listening to the Vice Chancellor address. There are things that we need to do to support the school. But I cannot just come and don't make a statement. I want to thank us for everything informed us about this. We're going to look at it and try to support the university to complete that. I want to thank TED1 for the support they are giving to us tonight. Thank them so much. When we're driving here, we also noticed the roads. I just hope that very soon we'll do a few interventions.
The Pro-Chancellor of the Akbc State University, Senator Udoma, and the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Nsesien, briefed the Governor on the achievements of the institution.
So anything you do for this institution, you will see how it will help the state as a whole. And we believe that the way you have started, you will do very well.
We have 48 academic programs, and all of them have enjoyed full accreditation by NUC. We have 6 engineering departments, and all of them have full accreditation by Korea.
The Governor also visited the Federal University of Technology in Ikorobasi local government area, where he was received by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Liu Daniel. The Governor promised the rehabilitation of a 15 classroom block and hostels to assist in the accommodation challenges the young institution is facing.
The Vice Chancellor has talked about the construction of 15 classrooms. I will support you, and then we keep partnering with you on the other ones. We can make our future okay. Now we also have our own here. The promise by the grace of God, we will support the university as much as we can.
Governor Moino later visited the coconut plantation cultivated by the state government in Nkparemin, Isinobolo local government areas, and the low-cost housing estate located in Ibiolibom local government area. This, according to the governor, is to familiarize himself with the state and workings of various facilities, as well as provide immediate intervention where necessary. Patience John, Akbc News.
The wife of the state governor, Pastor Patience Sumoino, has pledged to partner with human rights organization Heartland Alliance Nigeria in recording more successes in the fight against rape, child abuse and other vices. The governor's wife stated this during a visit by members of the organization in her office, where she reiterated her commitment to collaborations that will lead to a drastic reduction in incidents of all forms of violence in the society.
The First Lady, who is the chairman of the Akbc State GBV Management Committee and the State Drug Control Committee, decried the spate of rape and child abuse cases in the society, promising to leave no stone unturned in ensuring that such vices are brought to the barest minimum, if not completely eradicated. She thanked the organization for their support and contribution to the success stories recorded in the fight against rape, child abuse, gender-based violence, and other vices in the state, and called for continuous engagements so worrisome negative trends in the state are checkmated. Pastor Patience Eno, who expressed optimism that the statistics of incidents would soon take a downturn, appreciated the organization for honoring her as their ambassador for gender justice.
But I know that with this meeting, something is in the atmosphere. With that, I pray and hope that we will partner together. We will work together. I believe that with your help, with your assistance and support, we will get somewhere with it. Absolutely. That's my belief, and I hope that God help us to achieve that. Thank you so much.
The leader of the delegation and chief executive director of Heartland Alliance Nigeria, Dr. Bartholomew Ochoye, who informed the governor's wife of the presence of the NGO in 9 states of the country, including Akwa Ibom, expressed their readiness to work with her and the state government in the area of public health, gender justice, and issues affecting adolescents and young persons.
We do a lot of work around public health, human rights, gender justice, mental health, and psychosocial support, comprehensive treatment. We work with adolescents, we work with young persons. We have partnership with government at federal and state level, with various NDAs. We also do a lot of work with the academia because we're also into research. We are looking out to see what your impact will be on the women and other gender individuals in the state.
During the visit, the state team lead of the organization, Dr. Ngozi Nnanna, highlighted their activities funded by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, in all the 31 local government areas of the state, to include interventions in more than 800 GBV cases in 2023.
We've been able to record physical and emotional abuse of about 734 persons, out of which the sexual abuse there is 111. Then we actually work very closely with the NDA. That's why she's here. We now make sure that we do what we call harm reduction. So that harm reduction is able to provide them like needle and syringe that they can use, while we now gradually see how they can live.
High point of the visit was the decoration of the wife of the governor as an ambassador for gender justice.
The Committee on Security, Youth and Sports of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has its hands full as several motions bordering on security of lives and property is on the front burner at every session of the House. At Thursday's plenary, 2 other motions were also committed to the committee. The first was an advocacy for increased jail term for vandals of electricity installations, while the second was seeking security for Ahwabo Ekefi waterways in Ukanafon local government area. Legislative Affairs reporter Huyokoso tells us more on the plenary.
motion seeking a life sentence for electricity installation vandals was raised by Vietnam State Constituency Representative Mr. Wahabong Ekbofok.
So the first step is they remove the coil from the transformer, they remove the coil, they remove the transformer itself, and then full inverter. So they are all applied from them, and they exist. So I'm proposing that the life person should be amended from 7 years to life imprisonment to deter people who are in this space.
Mr. Melodom, who represents Okanafon State constituency in his motion appealing for security in Aharoba, Ekefe waterways, said lack of effective policing in the area has consistently fueled insecurity in his constituency.
By the criminals who travel their own effort, water to have. Second, the following to secure the effort, waterways, you have local government area to create instability and house, which will people that realization of their rights of the present administration.
The House urged the executive arm of government to expedite measures to prevent and contain the ravaging diphtheria infection already prevalent in some parts of the country. This was in reaction to a motion by the Okanafon State Constituency Representative, Mr. Samson Idio.
The National Center for Disease Control report multiple outbreaks of diphtheria infection in December 2022 across the state of Nigeria, and today the infection has spread to 27 states of the nation. We have estimated 2,455 infected cases and 122 days as alarming case fatality rate of 8.7%.
The deplorable condition of roads in Ikorobasi and Eastern Obolo State constituency was the focus of the constituency's representative motion. The motion was committed to the House Committee on Works and Transport for further legislative action. Uyoko Uswa, Akbc News.
We'll take a break here, and when we return, federal government to shut down Murtala Mohammed International Airport October 1. Coup d'etat, Rwanda retires 12 generals, Cameroon reshuffles military. These and more when we return. Stay with us.
Available in new flavors.
Thanks for staying with us. Conversations on social media have taken a new dimension with the use of symbolic icons known as emojis. What are emojis and what meaning do they convey in chats? A poll in this report takes a look at emojis, its generations and meanings.
In the past, messages were sent to loved ones, associates and friends with voluminous write-ups, or as telegram, especially if it is love letter, where the sender strives to impress the partner. Such letters carried salutations such as Ditto from the School of Love, Department of Kissing, Faculty of Flowers, and with Heart of Gold or Bleeding Heart. But in the 21st century, there has been a lot of innovation and transformation after the advent of computer, which has almost replaced letters. Now, one can send a love note through computer or a phone using just a symbol, with not even one word, expecting the receiver to decode the message. Amazing, isn't it? This is possible only with emoji, which in Japanese language means picture word, first created in 1990 by Shigetaka Karika while working in the Japanese telecom company. The release of the first iPhone by Apple in 2007 had an emoji keyboard, and since then, the emojis are developed and updated. This may have prompted the United Nations to set aside July 17 as World Emoji Day, an unusual official holiday intended to celebrate emojis. The designers have created a variety to make sure the excitement, and each represents a word and shapes like the heart, tools, figures, and humans. It therefore means if you are still writing long messages in film, you are analog. Funny, right? So, what do our people know about emojis?
We have signs of maybe breakfast like tea. We have signs like I'm on my way, you put a keke, you put a plane, but you use them based on the chatting. Something that goes on air like that when you do call or any other things like that. Other Ministry of Transport. It communicates in a kind of hidden discussion. Emoji is good, but not good for formal purposes. Emoji. I use them like so often, like every day. I think emoji is something I use to express myself, like most often. I can say thank you so much, and I put a smiling emoji. But the things as you have explained, I will start using it. Give it a bad job. Emoji. I use a lot of emoji. It's smiling emoji, like emoji that I don't just love emoji. I don't do love.
It is better to flow with time. Learn to use emojis to communicate. Celebrate the brains behind the emojis, and remember that the best way to mark the day is to send at least 3 emojis to someone.
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Bata Edu, says 23,000 people have been reported missing in less than a decade due to insurgency in some parts of the country. Edu said this in Abuja Wednesday at the stakeholders' engagement on the theme, "Where Are You Now?" held to mark the International Day of the Disappeared. She said that the figure represented half the number of missing people in Africa as a whole, adding that the report of missing people released by the International Community of the Red Cross and the Nigerian Red Cross Society was as a result of insurgency in some parts of the country. The minister said the issue of missing people had become one of the most critical and long-lasting humanitarian consequences of armed conflict, and as such called for sober reflection. She urged that a national mechanism be created immediately. Immediate steps taken by the Nigerian government to prevent disappearances leading to disruption of family links. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo, has directed all international airlines to vacate the Muritala Mohammed International Airport from October 1, 2023. This became necessary, according to him, to give room for total maintenance work at the airport. The minister disclosed this during a tour of the international airport in Lagos, where he was accompanied by the director, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Mr. Kabir Yusuf Mohammed. The minister, while speaking during the tour, directed airlines and companies operating in the airport to move to the new MMIA Terminal 2, constructed by a Chinese company. Kayamo also suspended all contracts, projects, concession in the sector until further notice, stressing that all airlines should vacate the MMIA before the October 1, 2023 and relocate to Terminal 2. The Nigerian Navy has reiterated its commitment to fighting against insecurity on Nigeria's waterways. This is even as the Navy clarified the statement by the International Maritime Organization that the nation's waterways were unsafe to do business in the past years due to the abandonment of theft vessels along the waterways. The Navy said such abandonment of vessels contributed to the high insurance premium on ships operating in Nigerian waterways, adding that clearing the waterways has cost so much money. A statement by the Director of Naval Information, Commodore A.O. Ayo Vagard, said a vessel identified as MV Cecilia was being tracked by the naval authorities for alleged oil theft. He said it had been the practice that in some cases where vessels involved in oil theft are arrested, the owners are absconded, leaving the Nigerian Navy to bear the cost of keeping and sustaining such vessels. He explained this to be a contributing factor to the high insurance premium on ships operating in Nigerian waterways, with a negative impact on the nation's economy, adding that NIMASA, NPA and the NN have expended huge sums of money in the clearing of wrecks in the waterways that resulted from abandoned vessels engaged in oil theft. The international community Wednesday expressed concern on the rise of military coup in Africa as Gabon became the 7th African country to fall to it. Gabonese army officers, under the aegis of Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions, sacked President Ali Bongo, placed him under house arrest, and took over power in the oil-rich Central African country. Meanwhile, the leader of the coup in Gabon has named Republican Guard Chief General Brice Oligui Nguema as transition president. General Oligui Nguema Brice was unanimously appointed chairman of the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions. With Gabon, the number of countries in Africa under military rule in the last 2 years has jumped to 7. The others are Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, Chad, Sudan, and Niger. The Rwandan and Cameroonian governments have reshuffled their military in what is believed to be a reaction to the recent coup in Niger and Gabon. The retirements were announced on Wednesday, August 30, in a statement issued by Rwandan Defense Force that the Rwandan and Cameroonian governments approved the retirement of 12 generals and several officers. The statement, which reads in parts, the president has also approved the retirement of 83 senior officers, 6 junior officers, and 86 senior non-commissioned officers, 678 whose contracts ended, and 160 medical discharged. In Cameroon, President Paul Biya has also reshuffled the military with new appointments. Mr. Mike Sunday Achibong, a retired deputy director in the News and Current Affairs Directorate of Akbc, has been reported dead. According to family sources, the burial is billed for Saturday, September 2, 2023 at Community Secondary Commercial School along Calabar Itu Highway by 10 o'clock in the morning. The funeral will be conducted by the Salvation Army Ibiakuitan Corps, Akwa Ibom Capital Division. Late Mike Achibong, as he was fondly called, was aged 61 and is survived by a wife, children, brothers, sisters, and a host of other relatives to mourn his demise. On that note, we end the news tonight, but just before we go, we will take a quick look at the recap. As part of his familiarization visits to the public institutions and facilities, Governor Moino has visited the Akwa Ibom State University, Korapaden, in Pahenin Federal University of Technology, Ikorabasi, the Coconut Plantation and low-cost housing estate in Ibionibom local government areas. At each port of call, the governor reiterated commitments to upgrading and completing developments of facilities there. And we also brought you a report that the wife of Governor Moino, Patience Moino, pledges partnership with Heartland Alliance Nigeria accordingly more successes in the fighting against rape, child abuse, and other vices. She stated this during a visit by members of the organization in her office. That's our news. Thanks for staying with us. Good night.